Hi and welcome to The Winning Factor. I'm Alan Aitken, and on this show each week we take a look at some upcoming races in Hong Kong and we try to isolate an element of the race we might look back on later as having been the path to finding the winner. Well, on Sunday we have two group races. Some of the stars are back getting ready for Champions Day later in the month, and I'm not going to say too much about those races here. Plenty of information on them at the Jockey Club website, interviews and opinions that will help you find the winners there. But I did just want to take one little look at these set weights with allowances races, something that's always fascinated me since I've been in Hong Kong, and that is the £5 difference between the horses with a recent Group 1 win and the runners who don't have such a thing in their form. And it doesn't sound like a lot, but when you look at our graphic here, you'll see this is going back to 2009, 10 years worth of these races. And you'll see that the horses with the £128 to carry, that is the horses who've recently won Group 1 races, have grossly underperformed in that time, winning less than half the number of races that the market expected them to, while the horses getting the £5 have, of course, grossly overperformed. And it's only £5, but it does make a difference. Not that relevant this year in the sprint. Nobody carries the 128, but the two favourites will carry the £128 Beauty Generation or Waikuku in the Chairman's Trophy over a mile. So something to think about. So let's get back to the races I am examining on the show today. And the first of them is in race 2, and our winning factor here, the distance. So let's take a look at the second race, and I think this comes down to very few chances in a small field and a very tasty tactical face-off between Zac Purton on Take What You Need and Joao Moreira on Victorium, and down the bottom of the weights, a little knockout chance perhaps for Unique Treasure. But I do want to focus on the two horses who will be the favourites here, because I think the interplay between Moreira and Purton is going to be a highlight of this race. First of all, Victorium, and he's had no luck with barrier draws, almost exclusively wide gates all this season. He has another one on Sunday. But let's take a look at his most recent effort in race 515. And Moreira did a great job here from barrier 9. He gets the horse across to the fence in midfield following the speed. A great ride, and he gets him out in plenty of time. He can't really go with the very impressive Wellington in the straight, but he still finds the line okay in another very honest performance. Now, two races later on the same day, Take What You Need went around in a 1400 metre race and was another very honest effort. But I'm going to take you back to a race earlier in the season over Sunday's course and distance of 1200 metres, and this time you'll see him here in the red and yellow colours. He's nicely positioned by Blake Shin in the run. He's taken to the front, and fleetingly he looks a chance of winning the race, but a superior horse gets over the top of him late, far above, and gives him wind burn late. Take What You Need having to settle for second place. But I do think that the switch back to that 1200 metre distance on Sunday is really important for Take What You Need. He's just been looking a little bit stretched over the final 200 metres in the 1400 metre races that have been his program in recent starts. And I think when we look at the map on Sunday, he's got some advantages there too. So once again, Victorium has drawn a wide gate, as I mentioned earlier. Take What You Need is drawn inside him. It looks a race devoid of speed, devoid of leaders, and I think both jockeys will be pressing forward, trying to get a tactical advantage. But I think the draw for Purton gives him the chance to dictate to Moreira how this race will play out. So the tip in race 2, Take What You Need. His winning factor, the distance. Both these horses have been racing particularly well without winning this season, but I do think that coming back to 1200 metres where he's going to be strong is a key ingredient for Take What You Need, and the map is going to help him as well. The second race I want to take a look at this Sunday is race 6, and our winning factor here, the map. Now, I'd sum up the main chances here as Defining Moment, who backs up from last weekend's third placing. King Dragon coming off some consistent runs at 1400 metres. Party every day for Zach Purton after not having the best of luck as favourite last time. And a little chance down the bottom of the weights to Treasure Chest. And I'm sure there'll be plenty of punters lined up trying to get square with Party every day after his latest run, and we're going to take a look at that now. And note in race 510, look at the early sectionals here, not a lot of pace on, and out the back in the red and black colours, Party every day, that's his usual position in running. He needs a bit of luck. He doesn't really get it in the straight. He has a bit of traffic problem, and he still finds the line strongly over the final stages to run third. And now let's take a look at King Dragon, and this is his most recent run, race 494, and a different style of a race, as you can see on the heat map. Strong pace early, and he gets home. He's in the red, green and yellow colours. He's back in the field on the home turn, but finds the line very strongly over the final stages, also to pick up a minor placing. So you might look at those two races and say that Party Every Day was the horse who had the pace against him, and therefore his effort was the more meritorious. But I want you to take another look at that race with the King Dragon, and particularly the initial stages of the race. Now, he's a little bit slow away, but then he gets clobbered by the horse next to him and loses a lot of ground, and that's why we saw him back so far. Now, when we go to the map, but not a lot of speed on here, a step up to 1600 metres and an inside draw for King Dragon, and I think we're going to see him a lot closer, as he was in some of his earlier starts this season. Obviously, it helps if he jumps cleanly this time, but he certainly has the tactical pace to be up on the speed. And take a look where his major rivals are going to be. Defining Moment and Party Every Day, they are habitual back markers. They're going to give him a start, and I think that's going to be crucial. So the tip in race 6, King Dragon. His winning factor, the map. I think the step up to 1600 metres is really going to suit him, and provided Vincent can get him out of the gates cleanly and into a nice position, he's going to have a big tactical edge over his major opponents. Well, that's it from the winning factor this week. Stay well, stay safe. We'll see you next time.